Alright, guys, so welcome to the 1111 portal. And I wish you all the luck in the world during this time. I know that's gonna be a transition. It's like the Wheel of Fortune for all of us. Everyone's gonna have like a little flip flop, So, yeah, if you've been feeling shitty, hopefully this portal will lead you into not feeling shitty. But that wasn't what I wanted to discuss. It just kind of started flowing. But yeah, so on this 1111, I would like to discuss why it's so fucking weird to be a human. Okay, it's like you're part animal with the consciousness of a god, right? So it's like, and I mean, you're like a god inside an animal body, and so the animal in you is like, must fight, must fly, must mate. The three F's or whatever. But yeah, it's like that is our like primal ass nature, and it's like generation after generation with all these like awakenings that have been happening. It's like we're getting closer and closer to our divinity, right? And it's weird when we start recognizing ourselves as an animal. That's how we know that we're something a little different, because other animals don't recognize themselves as animals. They just flow with nature. We resist nature. It's in our nature to resist nature because we're of the nature of two very different fucking things, right? Like beast and God. It's like, so yeah, we've got like this like multi-dimensional understanding now, right? And it's like we feel so limited by our like animal meat body. It's like our instincts are still so fucking strong. It's like we still want to be the animal. We still want to fight for a kingdom. We still want to like, do all that shit that animals do. Because we're here and we're like, well, we're still animals. Let's be naked and stupid and go fight people at bars. I don't know. Whatever. Um, and then the God part of us is like, well, we should be reaching higher levels, And it's like, I feel like really torn. I don't know. I feel like it's just the weirdest experience to be having. It's kind of an honor to be this. It's like there was what was it? Clash of the Titans, right? That old ass movie, really fucking good movie. Well, there's a part where Zeus says to Perseus, like he goes and he's asking Perseus, "You need to help the gods, like, like right now some shit's going down." And we really need your help, And then Perseus is like, nah, I ain't about that god life. I'm being an animal. I'm fucking working a day job. What are you doing? I'm trying to fucking exist. So he gives Perseus all these visions, right? And Perseus is like, no, because of course in the visions, like Perseus is losing the one person he loves the most, his son, right? And so like it's almost like a threat from the heavens where he's like, fuck, now I have to go like do this because I love my son, fuck. And then like, so Perseus is, debating with Zeus about it, and Zeus looks at Perseus and he's like, you are not weaker because you are half human. You are stronger than us because you are half human. You are the evolutionary, well, now I'm paraphrasing, but like basically the evolutionary like advancement from both. Like you are both. And I don't know, that really struck a chord with me when I watched that for the millionth time. I don't know, when you watch it post like awakening, it hits different. You're just like, oh man, like now you feel like they're all interconnected with the storylines and shit. And, whatever. You guys gotta watch Clash of Titans. The one with the cellophane fucking water. Yeah, that one. But yeah, so yeah, like, and I kind of agree with this theory here. That like we are stronger. Like how bacteria can make us sick and they can't perceive anything past like the second dimension. We can interfere with their lives. We basically are a fractal of God. We can do that shit, you know, to the lower dimensional viewing beings, whatever. And then so then we've got the gods who like, they like combined forces with animal. It was like they saw Lucy out there in Africa being a bipedal fucking primate, and they're like, you know what? Let's make that thing smart. let's give it the fire of Prometheus. How about that, right? And then what if it is our job to help the gods? What if it like we have such a powerful ability to create balance here? We have such a powerful ability to create or to destroy or create. I keep saying creation. I'm all about creation, as you can tell. But yeah, so I feel like it is our job to maintain homeostasis here, right? We take care of the plants, the animals, the gods talk to us. It's not so fucking hard. But it is because we've complicated things with our knowledge, because we're not like the gods where they're just like, oh, we're divine as fuck. Like, no, we're still an animal. We're still, oh, sorry. We're still fucking wilding out, fucking acting like a bunch of damn fucking primates, like, hoo-hawing and beating our chests at each other. Like, oh my god, this is so stupid. But at the same time, it's kind of beautiful because this is humanity. The connection of two worlds. It's like, the universe wanted to know what if, and here we are, the weirdest science experiment that ever happened in the universe. They, and it's in the stories of like the Anunnaki, like those ancient stories about the Anunnaki, who basically were like a whole planet of Easter Island, right? So they had all these resources and abundance, and they're like, let's just have 1 million babies. And so then they have 1 million babies, and then they're like, oh fuck, we don't have enough resources to sustain all these babies. And so like a group of them, like 144,000 of them or whatever, just throwing out random numbers, they go to Earth, right? And they see Earth is very similar to how their planet was. And then they're like, oh my god, yes, I love this place. And then they see little, like, hominid primates out there, and they're like, let's do an experiment where we make half and half, okay? And then, like, and then through this story, like, I'm not going to sit here and put claims so we can debate about it. I'm telling you a story about the Anunnaki, which you guys can go and research, but, and come up with your own conclusions about it. But, yeah, so then they taught humans agriculture and all this, and, like, and they obviously they had to stay because their planet was shit. So they're like, let me teach you how to grow food and how to do alchemy, and let me teach you about math and shit. And then, so then they're like teaching them to be drawn on walls and whatnot. And because they are so biologically similar, that like it kind of worked out, And so, yeah, like, just, I mean, even in the ancient stories about all this shit, like, there's always, like, this connection from, like, humans going and being hella primal to being godlike. It's like, even in the book of Genesis, where Adam and Eve, they eat from the tree of knowledge, and then they're no longer, like, a dumb animal, and then they're like, and God's like, God damn it, I made you perfect! And then you had to go and be corrupted by this other dude. So then there's a whole, like, thing, and then God's like, you little dumb monkey, what are you doing, and so you get sent out of the garden and all that, and so, I mean, these stories, they just kind of exist all over the world from, like, different time frames. They're all theorizing or hypothesizing about what happened here based on shit that's been written on walls, based on shit that is on pyramids and stuff. Like, I mean, a lot of the ancient technology they had kind of, like, where did that come from with these primitive minds? I mean, think about it. Most people can't, like, invent something past, like, a fucking gravity bong, you know? So I just can't believe that a whole bunch of primitive humans came up with all that shit themselves. And they weren't that primitive. Like, in ancient Egypt, oh my god. Oh my god. They were just all intelligent as fuck. They, like, oh, and Queen Hatshepsut. Oh my gosh, she's my queen. I love her. I have to tell you, because misogyny wasn't even a fucking thing then. It was like, she was able to usurp a throne. She's like, goodbye, Pharaoh. I'm the Pharaoh now, right? And instead of, like, dressing like a queen, she would wear the Pharaoh beard with the Pharaoh headdress. And she was like, I am the Pharaoh. I am. This is my authority. I am here. And her husband was a fucking consort. He was not allowed to be called Pharaoh. Like, and so she was just like, I mean, she would be leading, like, her armies to battle and shit. Like, she would be the first one out there. She's like a warrior. Like, she's like, yeah, we're taking this whole shit and then we're gonna make it better. And then she helped make Egypt, like, one of the best, like, marketplaces in the world, right? Freaking, and she's not even the only one. There were so many female pharaohs that showed up after her. There's this one, her name is like Azamatov or something like that. I don't know, I'm going off of my memory. But she's a descendant of Alexander the Great, right? And she was sent to Greece to go and get married to some royal dude there, right? So she becomes a queen in Greece, and then her husband dies. She comes back, marries her brother. I know it's hella gross, but it's history, whatever. And then, but she married him so she could be the queen of Egypt, right? So she could be the pharaoh of Egypt. And then she ended up boosting their economy so much. She was like, she was doing all this international travel because she was a leader of both. Like, she was able to, like, have this import-export. Like, she was able to do all this shit, okay? And Britain couldn't even fucking do that with America, okay? Like, come on. And she fucking did it with Greece and Egypt. Nobody was trying to take from her. They were like, you know what, you're kind of rad, whatever. And, you know, it's kind of weird. It's like somewhere we regressed along the line. And, like, maybe we go through, like, bouts of progression, regression, and maybe that's just, like, our animal fighting with our divinity, and it's, like, one of us has to win. It's the two wolves inside of you. It's the ego, and it's the fucking heart chakra. It's, like, you know, I don't know. I'm going off on a whole ass fucking tangent, but, like, you know, I just feel like we were born in such a duality. We don't even know what our own fucking nature is. We're like, do we destroy or do we create? What are we doing here? Like, are we learning or are we just staring at shit? Like, what are we doing? You know, like, that is the beauty of humanity. And it's like, I'm almost so proud of what we are, of what, like, everybody is, that it's like, I'm okay with you guys being a little embarrassing sometimes. I'm okay with me being a little embarrassing sometimes. Sometimes people do some shit that's so bad. I'm just like, I'm actually embarrassed for them. Like, fucking Donald Trump. Come on, man. I was actually embarrassed for that guy. I was like, dude, he has dementia. Get him off that stage. Like, this is embarrassing. And some weird shit happened. And I was like, damn, this is embarrassing, America. The whole fucking place. Like, whatever. That's a whole other subject, you know? You know me, my ADHD, I'm like, I'll be bouncing from, like, subject to subject to subject to subject. But, yeah, so, I don't know. I just wanted to put in my 2 cents about this. Like, how humans are just, we're fighting a nature because we don't know what nature is. It's in our nature to not be natural. We're extra natural, supernatural, right? Like, so you're constantly gonna feel this, like, battle between your animal self and your divine self, and you're like, am I a demon am I an angel? Like, what am I doing here? You know, because sometimes, you know, you're gonna feel that duality between both. You're like, it's just who you are. Like, go and watch animals and how they, like, act and interact, right? Just, like, go to the dog park for, like, a day and just see what nature looks like. They're not resisting shit. Like, these dogs are all happy. You don't see them gossiping and having dramas and shit. Like, no, that's all fucking human. What? Like, a dog sees another dog and it's one of two things. It's, you look dangerous and I'm gonna protect my owner, so bark, bark. Or it's like, oh, friend, another dog, you know, and then they're like, bark, bark. So, you know, humans are kind of the same way. We pick up an intuition about certain energies in other people. And sometimes even if the energy is just something we don't recognize, then it's like you kind of have like a fight or flight instinct within you and you're like, what is that, why are you different? You know, but then it's like, I think through all these generations of evolution we're kind of figuring it out that like shit's just different sometimes. You know, it doesn't make people dangerous. I don't know, sometimes, yeah, I mean, sometimes they're dangerous though, so, you know, listen to your fucking gut, listen to your intuition about people, but like, don't always base your entire opinion on that. Some people, I thought they were the nicest people in the world, and they ended up being crazy as fuck. And then some people, I thought they were mean as fucking, and I was like, man, I don't know if we were vibing. And then next thing I know, we're best friends. I don't know. You know, people, you can't judge it off of first impressions with people all the time. And so it's nice that we have that higher ability to have like second like meetings or changing our impression based on a continual experience with a person. You know, it's just, I don't know, like, I feel like it is my duty to combine hold up.
Brother's got COVID.
That son of a bitch!
Ben, he's got COVID-19. He can't taste or smell anything.
Oh, man.
At all. I just wanted to tell you.
No way. Okay. Yeah. So, my brother has COVID. I just found that out. Sorry. Yeah, but now I have to go deal with that shit. See the world. Which means I probably have COVID. No, I've actually been feeling under the weather, and I'm actually doing these videos because of that, because I'm like bored at home and not feeling well. So, yes.